What is going on, guys and girls? Welcome back to TV and Me. I'm, of course, Kevin, and it's time again for The Walking Dead. There's the van. Where's Eugene? You've lost control, Rick. Oh no. Don't.
Good. You made it. Welcome to where you're going.
We can talk about
We're
it.
done talking. Time to listen. That's yours, right? Yeah. It's yours. Okay. Let's get her down and get you all on your knees. Wait. Yeah. Chop.
Fuck you, prick.
Come on.
Oh,
Got people to meet?
shit. Well, Daryl's alive. That's one good thing.
All right. We got a full boat. Let's meet the man.
Pissing our pants yet? Boy, do I have a feeling we're getting close. Yeah. Gonna be pee-pee pants city here real soon. You're Rick, right? I'm Negan.
He's
And
Negan.
I do not appreciate you killing my men. Also, when I sent my people to kill your people for killing my people, you killed more of my people. Not cool. You have no idea how not cool that shit is. But I think you're gonna be up to speed shortly. You are so gonna regret crossing me in a few minutes. Yes, you are. You see, Rick, whatever you do, no matter what, you don't mess with the New World Order. New World Order is this, and it's really very simple. So even if you're stupid, which you very may well be, you can understand it. You ready? Give me your shit, or I will kill you. Today was career day. We invested a lot so you would know who I am and what I can do. You work for me now. You have shit, you give it to me. That's your job. You thought you were safe. I get it. But the word is out. You are not safe. Not even close. In fact, you are pegged. More pegged if you don't do what I want. And what I want is half your shit. This is your way of life now. The more you fight back, the harder it will be. You don't really think that you were gonna get through this without being punished now, did you? I don't want to kill you people. Just want to make that clear from the get-go. I want you to work for me. You can't do that if you're dead, now can you? But you killed my people, a whole damn lot of them, more than I'm comfortable with. And for that you're gonna pay. I'm gonna beat the holy hell out of one of you. This is Lucille, and she is awesome. Shit, kid. Lighten up. Please cry a little. Jesus, you look shitty. I should just put you out of your misery right now.
No!
Fuck you, Dwight. You're gonna get that fucking shoved right in your fucking ass, you dick.
Nope. Nope, get him back in line.
No.
All right, listen. Don't any of you do that again. I will shut that shit down, no exceptions. First one's free. It's an emotional moment. I get it.
Don't even fucking think about it.
It's your kid, right? This is definitely your kid.
So stop this!
Hey! Do not make me kill the little future serial killer. Don't make it easy on me. I gotta pick somebody. Everybody's at the table waiting for me to order. I simply cannot decide.
Kill your fucking self, that'll work.
I got an idea. Meeny, miny, mo. Catch the tiger by his toe. Told me to pick the very best one. And you are it. Anybody moves, anybody says anything, cut the boy's other eye out and feed it to his father, and then we'll start. You can breathe, you can blink, you can cry. Hell, you're all gonna be doing that. Oh, Dad! Taking it like a champ!
So there we have it, the season 6 finale, and I've actually just had to have a 20-minute conversation with my brother. I do it every time there's an episode that I need to get my head around. You know, so much has happened, stuff is up in the air, and you know, I need someone to talk to in order to have that back and forth. Don't worry, I didn't give away any spoilers though. But it's allowed me to process what's gone on, and it's allowed me to think about how I feel about the situation and the possibility that someone in our group has died. Before I get into all that stuff with Negan, I'm just going to quickly talk about Carol and Morgan first. And the big thing to come out of this episode, I personally think, is Carol has given up on life. She was literally begging for that man who shot her to finish the job. And it almost seems like not only was it to, you know, end the torturous situation she was in, but it was also a way to bring her happiness. Because we sort of saw there, or I thought I saw, the moment she realised she was possibly going to die, and the guy even said to her, "Why are you smiling?" That burden was lifted off her, the burden of having to survive, the burden of having to kill. In that moment, Carol saw that all that suffering, all that pain could come to an end, and she accepted it, and she was happy with it. But like I was crying out for in the reaction, Morgan came to the rescue. At the most crucial point when he was about to end it, Morgan stopped him. And Morgan has done something which he vowed never to do again. He killed. He killed a man. And what that's going to do to Morgan now, I don't know. I mean, I've been begging for it. But you know what they say, careful what you wish for. Is this going to turn Morgan into the character he was before? The crazy man. The man that would kill anyone. That even came close to him. That, you know, we saw when he first arrived at that house of Eastman. He was just shooting at him randomly. He didn't care. Are we going to see a return to that character of Morgan? Because I don't want to go from one extreme to the other. Go from life is precious Morgan to I'm just going to murder everyone in sight Morgan. I hope that now he's crossed that threshold. Now he's actually killed someone. And he's done it. You know, he had no other choice. He did it because he had to do it. Much like Carol's been talking about. If you love people, then you have to kill. And that's what Carol was trying to tell him in this episode. And he just didn't accept it. But in that moment where it mattered, he killed someone to save someone he cared for. Exactly what Carol was telling him. And like I say, I just hope that now he's done it, he realises that when the situation calls for it, when there is no other choice, then you can kill. That doesn't go to say that the jail cell he has built can go to like waste now. It can still be used if there's characters that there's question marks against, you know. They're just people that are killing to survive like our group has in the past. They can bring them back, hold them there and, you know, try and work with them to bring them back from the brink of insanity. But at the same time, when you're in a situation where you can save someone's life, he can now do that. He knows inside him that he can do that. Despite not wanting to, like Carol, despite that, you know, he feels like there should be some other option in saving him, he still killed that man because he knew there was no choice. He knew he had to do it. And it shows that he really does care for Carol, despite all their history, despite all their past. After Morgan did save Carol, we saw two new characters stumble across them in riot gear, or it looked like they had some sort of padding or riot gear. And like I said in the recap before this episode, the last time I remember gear like that was at Terminus. And that sort of got me worried that maybe these are Terminus survivors and cannibals. Or maybe we've got a bit of good luck for once and they've stumbled across a group that actually does care for people. Because they came across that way in that moment. You know, they held out their hand. They shook Morgan's hand. And, you know, that guy was telling the truth. He was looking for a horse. So I just hope that now Carol's been shot, of course. She's in danger. She's been stabbed. She's been shot. She needs medical help. I hope that these people will help Morgan and Carol. And that they're good people, and then somehow these new people they've met can feed into Morgan and Carol somehow rescuing the main chunk of the group that of course are in Negan's clutches. Fuck. That's my first thought on the whole Negan situation. Fuck. We are obviously in a situation where one of our characters have died. One of our main group has died or been beaten to death. Because at the end there, we saw the camera or the person's eyed view of them getting beat to death. But we don't know who it is. And I guess this is why you said to me, you need to watch these episodes back to back. But unfortunately, I haven't left time for it, so I can't. I've got to wait till tomorrow to watch the next episode. But in a way, I'm sort of happy for that. Because it allows me to, you know, like I said, when I talk with my brother, it allows me to like digest the information, digest the episode. It allows me to think, you know, why I care for each character that is on the chopping block at this point. And there is no easy choice in this. But before I do go into who I least want it to be, and I'm not going to say who I hope it is because that's not fair. I care for each one of these characters for their own individual reasons. But, you know, inevitably I'm human. I care for some characters more than others. So I'll go into that in a minute. But before I do, I've got to say, the way this episode built up the tension was absolutely amazing. The way that each direction they headed, they were blocked off by something different. By a few men. By a load of men. By tree trunks. Each time they did, they were blocked in a unique and different way. And it seemed like it was escalating over time as well. Like first it was a few men. Then it was, I think it was then a load more men, and then it was a massive tree trunks. And I honestly thought that Eugene had come up with a foolproof plan. But in the back of my head, it was sort of nagging at me that maybe they were watching them, so it wouldn't work. But I sort of had hope that Eugene had made a plan which would work and sort of get him out of that situation in a way. Because the way it went down in that moment where Eugene suggested the plan, and then he passed on the bullet recipe, or the gunpowder recipe, to Rick, and the way he said his goodbye to Abraham, I honestly thought Eugene was about to sacrifice himself so Maggie and Rick and everyone could get to the hilltop in order to find a doctor for Maggie. But the plan went to shit. They were watching them all along, and our entire group has been caught, including Glenn, Michonne, Rosita, and Daryl. I was worried for Daryl, but he is alive for now, thankfully, because again, he's a character I really enjoy. But they're all alive. The last time I saw them, like, we saw someone die, but I haven't seen who's died. So in my mind, they're all still alive. I guess it's now time to talk about the lineup. So when I was just talking to my brother about this episode, he said to me, "Who do you want it to be?" And I had to pause for a good 3 minutes thinking about it. And honestly, there is no one I want it to be. There is no one that I'd prefer it to be, because each of these characters I appreciate in a different way. Saying that though, there are some characters that I don't want to say prefer, but that's the only word I can use. There are some characters that I prefer it was to others. And that's mainly because of how long we've known them and how much character development stuff we've had. But the first one, the one that I would care least, even though it would bother me, and I apologise if there's fans, but the one that bothers me least is Aaron. Mainly because he's the newest character we've met out of all of them. He's not really been on screen much. When he has been on screen, I've really enjoyed him, and he's always had Rick's back, and that's why I don't want him to die. But out of all the characters, if it was Aaron, that's the person that I'm going to say care least, but you know what I mean. He's the person that I would care least. Beyond Aaron, because that's the easy answer, and that's pretty much what my brother said to me. Beyond Aaron, everyone else, it's like choosing children, but when put down to it, there's two characters that beyond them that, even though I love them, I care for them, I'd probably cry my eyes out if they died. That I'm struggling saying it because I feel like I'm condemning them, but Rosita and Sasha. I know there's people right now that are probably like, what? What did you just say? But out of the characters we have, those are the ones, because everyone else we've known for so much longer, apart from Eugene and Abraham, and I'll go into why not those. But Sasha and Abraham, we've gone through so much with Sasha. We've seen how much she's suffered with Bob and Tyrese, and the fact she's happy with Abraham, and the fact they were discussing children. I do love the Sasha character, but again, compared to the other characters, I would choose her. And same with Rosita. Again, I feel like we've not had much exploration of Rosita. She's always been there. She's always been supportive. She's a strong character. She's someone I care for. I know she's gone through a shit situation with Abraham recently. But again, I'm going to keep saying this. Compared to the other characters, I would have to choose her. Beyond that, everyone above that, I can't choose. And I'll tell you why Abraham and Eugene. I realised in this episode just how much I care for the Eugene character. You probably saw in that moment when, like I say, when it seemed like Eugene was saying his final goodbyes, I teared up and started to cry. Because I feel like Eugene's had a really cool character development arc. He's gone from this scared coward deceiving everyone to this character that was willing to die. He pretty much realised in that moment, because when he passed across that bullet recipe, that was him giving his last will and testament. He turned into a full-blown hero. Even though he is scared, he still did it. And that's why I love Eugene. And the reason with Abraham is, again, I love his quips, I love his humour, And I feel like Eugene and Abraham are a double act. I feel like they've always got to be together, and I feel like should one of them die, I feel like the other one would go too, because they're linked by that lie that Eugene told Abraham. He's the reason Abraham survived in the first place, and I feel like if one dies, they've both got to die. And I tell you what, the way I felt in this episode, I think Eugene could be one of my favourite characters, because when I thought he was going to die, that hurt. I can't believe I've got to wait till tomorrow to watch this. I should have listened to your advice and left time. I can't do it now because it's gone 1 a.m. and I had to record this quite late at night because it's the only time I could record it, and I can't record any later because, you know, takes a long time to do recaps, episodes and reviews. But god damn, a great episode, I've got to say that. I mean, I mentioned it before, the tension in this episode was amazing. I expected to see someone die. I mean, in a way we saw someone die, but we haven't seen anyone die. I've got to wait next episode for that, but it's going to be torturous till tomorrow. It's going to be good in the sense, like I say, that I get time to think on it, on the episode, and think about why I love each individual character. But having to wait 7 months like you guys and girls did, whoo, I don't know how you did it. You must have had people dissecting every frame of that episode, seeing where he was during each moment of Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. I can't even imagine waiting that long. That'd be insane. I should probably talk about my first impressions of Negan as well. Before I do though, I just want to say, if this review is all over the place, I apologise. You've probably found with me, if you've followed me for a long time watching my reviews, that when there's an insane episode, when there's an episode where so much is going on, my reviews tend to be a bit ranty, they tend to be a bit repetitive, because I have the same thoughts going over in my mind. Like, I'm trying to think of ways Rick could get out of the situation he's in. I'm trying to think of if there's any character that's missing that, you know, could come in and rescue him. And I'm trying to think of all this stuff. And because I record the review straight after the episode, it's just, sometimes it comes out as a big mess, and I try and edit it together so it does make sense. So again, if this is ranty, if I repeat myself a lot, I apologise, but, you know, this is the raw emotion. This is how I feel. This is who I am. And hopefully you can make some sense of it. So, Negan. Where do I start? First impressions. I've got to be honest. He's obviously in control. He's not a crazy man. I think that's the first thing I took away from him. He's not crazy. He's in control. He's just a psychopath. He's just someone who doesn't feel that emotion. It seems like he's a character that feels like he's doing the right thing as well. I remember I heard a saying a long time ago that the best villains are the characters that think they are being righteous. And I feel like this Negan character thinks he's being righteous. He feels like he is punishing people for killing his men. And he is. You know, they did kill his men. They killed a lot of his men. And maybe he feels like, he said in this episode actually, he's building a new world order. And these people, Rick's small group, is putting his plan out of order. And he feels like he's doing the right thing by punishing them because he's trying to build something. Maybe I'll find out later down the line that the Saviours and Negan, even though they are blackmailing and extorting people, they are actually trying to build some sort of civilized society. I doubt it, because of the way, you know, they hung that bloke off the bridge and stuff. But it's possible that he's the type of character that would be doing that, like I say, because he seems in control. I'll also say as well, he seemed like he had a sense of humour and he was a bit comical. And I'll be honest, in this moment, the moment where we are feeling this extreme tension, where the people we love are lined up and someone has to die, he had that grin on his face. And while it is sinister, it does come across as sinister, sort of like, if you know the Joker character in Batman, it's sort of like that. You know, the smile hides that evilness. But at the same time, there was a few lines which I was like, maybe I could laugh at some of this guy's jokes down the line. Maybe this is a character which, even though I hate him, I could like him. I could like to hate him, if you know what I mean. Sort of like if you're a Game of Thrones watcher, sort of like the Ramsay character. He was a bit over the top, but, you know, he did terrible stuff, but I sort of like the Ramsay character because he was a good villain. And I feel like this Negan character could be a really good villain and I could like him, even though I hated him. That makes no sense whatsoever, but I hope you know what I mean. I've just realised I said that I could enjoy a character which has just beat down a character that I've grown to love, and I do love. But I think I'm sort of detached from the situation at the moment. Because it is still all up in the air. I know someone has died, but because I don't know who has died, I still feel like everyone is alive. I feel like there's some way that this whole situation can be rescued. But someone has died, like I say, I don't know who. And I'm going to find out next episode. This review is such a train wreck, I apologise. But I'm going to leave that there. I want to dive straight into the next episode, but I can't. I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow. I'm sure tomorrow's episode I'll have a lot more to talk about. I'll have a lot less questions because, again, so much is up in the air at the moment. But until then, guys and girls, thank you for watching. I appreciate it so much. And until next time, bye-bye. Thank you for watching The Walking Dead Weekend with me. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up because it helps me and it helps the channel grow. Also, if you've got any thoughts or theories about the episode, remember you can leave them in the comments section below. But please, no spoilers. If you'd like to support me even more than you do now, you can find me on Patreon, where for as little as $1 a month you can take part in Patreon polls or even get early access to my videos. And finally, if you want to keep up to date with the channel, you can find me on Twitter at TVandMeReacts, or you can subscribe.